Wednesday morning. Big money watching. They're not reacting. They're positioning. Market's moving quiet, but the pressure's building up. Everybody watching when the Fed says what is what. Rates on the table, yeah, the word about to shift. Smart money early, they don't wait to get in first. ETF flows, yeah, the numbers don't lie. 361 mil, and it came overnight. Still they say we're early, still they hesitate, but the big dogs loading while they sit and debate. You can feel it in the charts, something changing now. Not the same cycle, different players in the crowd. Legacy money stepping into our lane, while retail still sleeping, thinking it's a game. The positioning. Before the decision hits, yeah, the money moves quiet. Don't miss institutions stepping in again, while the world waits on the Fed. Yeah, positions in, you can see the shift. Not loud, just smart. With the wish, if you're watching close, you know what it is. Yeah, they're moving before the decision. MasterCard making billion-dollar plays. Stablecoin rails, yeah, the system getting changed. Wells Fargo lurking, filing in the dark. You don't file trademarks unless you plan to start. MicroStrategy gate stacking like it's do or die. Closing in on BlackRock, yeah, they out of eye. SEC talking like they shipping up the tone. Regulation changing, now the game getting known. You can feel it in the air, yeah, it's lining up. Now hype-driven moves, this is real enough. Infrastructure building while you scroll the feed. This is how the next wave really starts to lead. Really starts to lead. Before the decision hits, yeah, the money moves quiet. Don't miss institutions stepping in again, while the world waits on the Fed. Their positioning, you can see the shift. Not loud, just smart. With the risk, if you're watching, push your it is. They're moving before the decision. Not a headline, it's a shift. Not a moment, it's a flip. From doubt to demand, from retail to the hands that don't change. They plan. The positioning, yeah, it's happening now. Every signal lining up. Somehow, while the noise keeps trying to distract, the real one's moving on, looking back. Their positioning, yeah, this is a phase where the smart money quickly plays again. You're reading, yeah, already know. This is how the next one starts to grow. FOMC day. Eyes on decision.
That's right. That's right. Eyes on the decision. We already know what's going to happen, though. Nothing's going to change. They're not dropping. They're not raising. Staying the same. We'll get into that in just a little bit here. GM. Coffee time, as you know. Hope you guys are doing well. It is hump day. Happy hump day. Middle of the week. Did you have tacos for dinner last night? Or wasn't it like a holiday or something? Oh, yeah, it was St. Patrick's Day. So we had, I got a corned beef, and we made Reubens. We didn't do corned beef and cabbage. No one needs to be doing that and eating cabbage and stinking up the house. So, just the art of cooking it would stink up the house. Not to mention the fact of the other thing. But we made Reubens. So good. So I hope you had something delicious for dinner tonight. That doesn't mean anything. Nothing at all. I appreciate you guys being here. What is up in the chat? Curtis Gore, bow, my guy, getting the gold again. Let's get it. Michael Navarro in the building this morning. Let's go. I hope you guys are all doing very well. We're look. It's who cares about the FOMC decision? We're gonna get through all of the things today. Again, institutions are. This is all. Everything's getting built right now, behind the scenes, quietly as we're watching it. Or maybe people aren't watching. I don't know. We go through this stuff. We look at these headlines. We digest this, and we form an opinion that underneath the surface, like no matter what the price do, we may see a little bit of, we may see a dump, right? And anything like that we see right now is pure manipulation, right? Like if there's big movements, because especially if it's a big movement down, it's just to clear some, do some liquidation, just a little liquidation flush. That's what we will see, if anything, because before we go up, and it seems like possibly maybe we did bottom. I don't know. I do think that we're good for one more little, and that may be the big one, right? Like that might be a huge. We talk about liquidation flushes. We talk about getting down to some certain levels. That could be something like a monstrous wick down just to like reset, and then from there, we go up. So that you never know. This industry is manipulated. We do know that. It kind of always has been. Now institutions are, they're controlling the game with some of their seismic activity, and we're going to go through a lot of this. And it's funny how you're seeing like contrarian views on some articles, right? The FUD articles, we talked about those yesterday. We'll look at another one today where, look, there's two examples of massive growth, and a particular entity is saying no interest. Watch what they do. Don't watch what they say. Watch what they do. We'll make like another song. I think we're working on some things where I think we can expand for at least the W3BC media, that kind of entity, where we're going to be able to be expanding what we're doing and probably programming and all that stuff. And so we'll have more songs. That's a good one. Watch what they do, not what they say. I mean, if you want to make money, in crypto, watch what they do. Swim with the whales. Do not watch what they say. Luca in the building. GM brother. Hope you are doing well, sir. Hope you are doing well. We're gonna get through this crypto stuff here in just a second. Let me just go in and refresh. But before we do that, GM to all of you, make sure you smash the like button. If you are watching on X, you know what to do. Back up out the chat. Even though there should be more people in the chat, I just see one beautiful lady in the chat right now. Back to you. Y'all should be yucking it up in there. Make sure that you do. Also, back out of there like this, like it. Help it get spread over on the X. Just start smashing the like button. You just only have to smash it once. It's the heart. Just hit the heart. Take care of that business. Help me out, fam. Like that, because most of you are watching on X anyway. So do that, and then if you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and smash the like, smash away, smash away. And then also we are on LinkedIn, so you can take the appropriate action there as well. So thank you. I'm seeing some likes coming through. If you see me look down, that's the phone. I got the X chat open right here so that I can yuck it up with you guys. Here we go. I'm gonna smash one in there. GM fam, let's fucking go. All right, we're in there like swimmer. Just, you know what, I just got a notification from LinkedIn. It's cool. My brother texted me yesterday with a screenshot of a video and said, holy shit, you were like it was like featured, like a recommended feature through LinkedIn news about some news story that we had covered on this show. So it was like really interesting, very cool stuff. So shout out to our LinkedIn people taking notice over there. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into some numbers. The Fear and Greed Index, 27, moving on up to the east side, baby. I believe we were, why is this not zooming? What's happening here? I have this. Okay, so last night we were making the Rubens. I was telling you, right? It doesn't look that bad. I'm telling you, it's extremely painful because it's in like a really bad spot where like a lot of activity happens. And the Band-Aid doesn't help, so I don't need a Band-Aid. It's just got to get healed up. But I was using the mandolin because we realized in our mandolin. Oh, there's no crypto talk here, so we'll just go full screen. On our mandolin, and if you don't know what a mandolin, it is a thing that has a very sharp blade on it that you can like slice vegetables over. So we realized that our mandolin has this attachment that can make shoestring fries. Very cool. And so I was making shoestring fries, and I made fillet of finger. Unfortunately, I got a good. It was funny. We did notice the curled up pieces of skin and terminated, said area of all of the contamination. So it was awful. But at the end of the day, filet finger. It was not like because it was like these crazy ridges with these sharp things, and so I know it doesn't look bad. It's not like I lost a finger. I'm not being a pussy, but I'm telling you, it's in this shitty spot on my thumb, and it's nothing you don't want stuff like that. Anyway, back to crypto. My bad. I was just being a little crybaby for a second. Fear and greed index at 27. As you know, we were in the mid to low 20s earlier this week, so things are moving up. Potentially, okay, so we're looking at one of two scenarios, right? That this is a bull trap of all bull traps, that we are kind of showing our cards a little early, moving things, up this big correction, or it's for real, right? And we may see, while we're still going up, we may see a quick scam wick and then continue on our mission, or we level back off. We don't really know how it's all going to look. Like when we pop open the Bitcoin chart, we'll look at our longer time frames because there's been some other similar activity, right? Historically, in months previous, where we can measure and we can take a look and like, if it does this again, it would do this. But ultimately, none of us are fucking mind readers. None of us are time travelers unless you are. And if you are, let me know. Because one, I could learn some things. And two, it'd be cool to know. Just let me know, like in the chat, like if you're a time traveler or if you have like psychic abilities, drop it in the chat. I want to know. My mom is like, she's got like psychic abilities, sort of, but like not with crypto stuff. It was more for other things, like, but not crypto. So nothing that we could financially gain off of. But if you know somebody, let me know. All right, swing over to Coin Market Cap. Give it the old refresh just to make sure we're looking at the goods. Man, we were like up flat earlier this morning when I looked at it, and then it was like kind of like down flat a little bit. And now pre-market, we got the pre-market shitters instead of jitters, man. We just took a dump. I'm sorry I did that. That's ridiculous. We're gonna rewind that back. The market just like took a short, quick dip, which it is FOMC day, so expect the unexpected. Bitcoin 72.7, down almost 2%. You got ETH at 22.57, XRP 148, BNB 660. I wonder if that thing is gonna like rip and roar back like it did last cycle. You never know, right? You never know. Tron coming in at it. Oh, look at that. Look, Hyperliquid hanging on still by 500 milli. 500 milli. Hyperliquid hanging on to the number 10 spot. That's what our number one focus on this channel is, making sure that Cardano drops out of the top 10, hopefully the top 25 very soon. And to any of my friends that are Cardano holders, you hear me talk about removing dust and shitters and all that stuff from your portfolio. And I got to tell you, like, if I were me and I had Cardano, I would cut it loose at this point, and I would rather have Bitcoin than Cardano. I would rather probably have Dogecoin than Cardano. You're probably going to see better return on Dogecoin than Cardano. I don't know. I don't know if they believe in it anymore. I think it's just the people who are underwater massively believe in it so much. That's the problem. And they're not going to sell their coins. And so where's the circular nature of the ecosystem there? Bitcoin Cash coming in at number 12. Where did Bitcoin Cash come from? Let's look at the chart. Bitcoin Cash, huh? The all-time. This thing got up to what? What'll tell us like the actual all-time over here? 43.55 back in 2017. All-time low 2018 at $75. We're at 460 right now. This is not necessarily like an investment that I would ever make as Bitcoin Cash. If I'm going to buy something called Bitcoin, it's going to be the actual Bitcoin, the one that's worth like right now $72,778. That's the one that I would particularly buy. Could you make money from the Bitcoin Cash and the Bitcoin Diamond and the Bitcoin Bada Boom skis? Sure, you could, but it ain't real Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's take a look at what's down in the last 24 hours massively. Midnight. See, that's the Cardano thing, isn't it? I mean, I believe this is, Cardano scan. This is like a Cardano thing, and this is dog shit too. I mean, ripping up from 45 cents down to fucking 4, under 5 cents. Come on. What the fuck? What is this? What is this? Does somebody have insight? Yeah. Sad but probably true. My guy, Michael Navarro, sad but probably true. R.I.P. Ada. 100%. And look at this. They put so much. I got to find a box. I got a box of merch. I was somewhere. I don't remember which conference I was at. I was at this big Cardano summit. Did the big thing, and it was like all this midnight stuff. I got the water bottle, the hat, the backpack, the tickle in the throat. Ooh, good time. Good announcement. We're going to pause the show. And look at this. Right there is the QR code to the BitUnex. It's also in the description on YouTube. You can find it there. You should be able to find it very easily on X if you cannot locate the YouTube one or the one that's in the description of the show or wherever it may be. Scan that, bada boom, bada bing ski. The whole idea is right now, between now and April 7th. So we're running a few more weeks of that. We got a deposit bonus for new accounts, right? There's also a volume bonus that you can get. So the deposit bonus for new accounts is 20%. And then there's a volume bonus that you can get. So like, you trade, you make a couple trades and all of a sudden you get some free money and then you got more money to trade with or to buy some Bitcoin with and then throw that in cold storage and it's just free Bitcoin, right? So you can do that kind of stuff. Also, the platform has a March trading carnival. And so they've got like $750,000 in rewards. And like, if you guys remember, we used to do this stuff over on FEMX. And it would be like, and I'll check the rules and regs of it, and I'll make sure that we'll put a video out of it so you guys can see and understand what's going on. But like last time, like there were big groups of rewards from different volume and metrics and stuff. So like even if you didn't trade like millions of dollars, like you were in a group, like your reward may be a little bit smaller, but there was like allocation for people of certain trade groups, size, volume and stuff. And so like I will look into that and I will let you know. I saw that this morning when I logged on to BitUnex myself and I was like, ooh, we should join this. I did tweet it out that there is that carnival, so make sure you join that. That's like something you have to go into and join it, and then they track it like based in there, and then so you should be able to just get some more free rewards for doing the stuff you're already doing, trading. So you're winning trade, making money. Right, so you're starting a new account, you get some free money. You trade a little bit, you get some free money. You trade into this competition a little bit more, you get some more free money, and then the whole time you're winning trades, so you're making money. Man, that's money. I mean, you gotta manage your risk, but you can do it. I know you can. We're gonna go through all this stuff. We'll make the right decisions. We'll do this together. We'll do it as a group. GMJ, hope you're doing well, my brother. Boop boop. All right, let's go back. Let's get off this midnight. After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. That's what Cardano. That was. You know what? Now it all makes sense. They launched midnight, and then it just all went to shit. All of it. So that was it. They just let it hang out. Nobody said no, thank you. They all said no, thank you. Altcoin season 52. That seems to weirdly growing. Interesting. All right, all right. You could see we are trending up a little bit over the last couple of weeks here. All right. Does that mean altcoin season is closer? No, sir. No, ma'am. We still got it. Well, I mean, closer, yeah, but we're not there. We're like nowhere near. This is says altcoin season up here, and we'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance when we get to TradingView. Shrimping. Let's do. Yarg, mateys, walk the plank. Captain J Chains here. Look at that. Get your Jasmine profits out. Buy some Bitcoin. Bitcoin back down to 16.45% down in the last 90 days. This is our shrimping. We like to go shrimping, but we always got to find our North Star here so our boat doesn't get lost. You know, Captain Chains sometimes. Lit. Nope. You know, a lot of same opportunities as we saw yesterday. These things hanging around this 30% level, so nothing really changing. There's probably a few that popped up. Look, Midnight's back down here. Inexplicably, we could not understand what had happened. Like not one day. It was like showing for several days that it was down like 80%, and then all of a sudden one day it was showing that it was up like 20 or 30%. On the shrimping thing, and it's like, well, what happened? On the chart never showed anything. It was very, very, very weird. Very weird. I wonder if they paid for placement. Wouldn't be surprised, to be perfectly honest with you. All right. World Liberty Fi. There you go, down 22%. If that's what you're in for. Filecoin. That did like rip the other day. Go 24 hours, 1 week. Yeah. Well, I guess 90 to 99. Okay. 10%. Down here, it was like down at 89 cents, ripped up over $1 to $1.01. $1 for the Filecoin. Man, well, remember the narrative was so big on all these things like, this is the future, cloud computing, storage. Remember Sandbox? Those files were so large that it's like, well, your computer couldn't even handle running it. So that's why we need this distributed computing power. Nobody gives a about Sandbox anymore. I'll tell you what. That was like that ended up being like a total scam too. Cause like even from like, what I understood from like the land that, Hidden Network had and all that stuff through Ben, was that it was so fucking expensive to build on, and they fortunately had a guy who I think was in this to win this from the long run, and so like he was not charging the industry standard because he was like a partner with them, so like it was a different setup. But like if you were just like a business or somebody that wanted to go and have someone build on your Sandbox land, like that shit was expensive, and then there was like maintenance and all that stuff, and so like now you've got like maintenance and upkeep on your digital land that was not going to be cheap because you had to outsource it because most people didn't understand what to do. They don't understand the files and the whatever. And so that ended up being a scam. Thank gosh we didn't do that. I did love me some Metaverse though, but I never bought some Sandbox land. Let's go back here. Let's go back to our shrimping. See what we got here. GM to the chat, by the way. Okay. I think that's probably it as far as the shrimp goes. I mean, obviously get to Mondo before this thing takes off, before we make another upski. Now, this could be the up of all ups, or, it's already done its death spiral. Who knows, right? Like, I'm a firm believer that Ondo has a very big future in all of this, the role of tokenization and moving, the traditional finance world on chain. So very massive role. So again, they are going to be one of my top 5 holds forever, for long term. Maybe not forever, but for long term. All right, that'll do that. That'll do CoinMarketCap. Let's go. What else we got here? We got the liquidation heat map up today. Let's go. Let's see where we're at here. Looking like we got some money down low. Could see a little dip, just like what we were talking about earlier. A little bit of a dip before we do the rip, and ultimately, it could just be a little tiny one, and we continue to just float along, here in these mid 70s, or go back to the 60s, or whatever it may be, or we see a sharp move, which I know a lot of people are waiting for. I'm certainly waiting for something to do something. Like, I mean, if you were to think about, let's go, what is this? This is open interest. We had this open up this morning. Let's go to the Bitcoin chart though. This is the daily. So let's do this. Let's also throw on our leapfrog. We definitely want the leapfrog on. Although really anything goes out the window on a FOMC day because whatever. So we've already pretty much established, from yesterday, touching our previous and being in the daily. So it's not like I would say most of the time, you have a very clear indicator of what kind of what the day would look like. And so I would think at some point we will, because it is early. It is only 8:30 in the morning. We will see a push back up to the daily. How low we go is yet to be seen. We got a couple different indicators that you could throw on here. Here on the leapfrog, the previous week to date would have you down to 71. Is there anything down below there on this leapfrog? The previous week okay, so there's a different indicator that I've been looking at that has some pretty cool information on it. And this is it's like all the different levels of your previous day, like point of control, your value area high, value area low, previous day high, the previous day information. So it's a lot of like the same thing that the VWAP does, but it's just some different information. So like here on the 48-minute, we've dropped down below it, but let's put it on the let's try the hourly. Let's even try the daily. And so I just in doing some volume area like exploration and studying yesterday when I was doing this, I found this indicator that has a lot. It shows you a lot of these information, and so they're just there are other touch points that we've had recently that you just when you look at them and you have them up and you consistently see like where are we constantly like revisiting, like where are the consistencies, where are things that we don't like, this is not going to happen because this is something that very rarely happens or never happens at all. So we can start to make confluence of all the different indicators that we use. So I thought that this was pretty interesting. All right. So there was that. I'll show you. Showed you that. So now. I mean, it would be absolutely great if this was the last thing that we that this dip right here, this last time that we saw this, but I just don't think so. And I feel like this looks even like where we're at right now, where this extended blue, you know what I mean? Like this extended blue right here before we might see like a little dip and then like another rip up to like, I don't know, maybe like 80, 81, 82. So what do we see this looking like? We see this looking like this, a thing, and then a thing, something like that. Well, we're gonna go down, go back up into the low 80s, much like what we did here. Like not the low 80s, but just like the difference of where we came up, and so like this right here and this right here, those are like the same. And so I think we're getting ready to do this, which is this, and then we go back up. Right here. So we'll see. I mean, again, history doesn't always repeat, but it rhymes. And the patterns look very similar. It would lend the idea of markets, they go up and they go down. That makes them healthy. So for us to get some volume, to go up, catch some price, but then also come back down and settle in a level that historically that we've seen. I think the what is it? Oop, that's not what I wanted. A lot of the times I'm talking about this right here, this August of 2024, this candle right here. I like that. I like that being the bottom, right? And that's 48. We have, and we look at some other ideas where we could come down and touch this in the 38s, but that here you've got a lot of volume, and it's kind of like the top level of where we're at right now. So we should actually let's put our volume on because that'll show. I mean, look at that. I mean, if we happen to, because the volume should change back in a second. Yeah. So like, look, if we happen, and this is right where we have the lines, right? If we lose this level, which here's a level that we'd obviously be able to defend very easily because of the volume node that it's at right here, right? And it starts to shrink. And like, if we lose these levels, if we lose this line right here, let's do, the one that's 60,000, the one that we recently had. If we lose that, you see the volume drop way the fuck off. That's the cliff, right? So if we bounce down right here and we lose this level, this is a cliff, man. And hopefully we catch ourselves like right around here. That would be ideal, right? And the volume suggests that right around this level where we already have this alarm. This is this should say generational BTC buy. And we're gonna name the alert that as well. All right. So now, if we come down here, if for whatever reason we plunge below and we test these same areas right here, and we test the bottom as we did back in 2024, if we happen to pierce below that and go here, man, I feel like this volume this is equidistant to volume that we have right now. You can see it's like the same. And so that should be because we're holding here at least for now until there is some other direction that happens, right? And we are trending up, which is a good thing. So again, not to sound like I'm contradicting myself, I think pragmatically we look at both things and we look for Chad Miller dropping in a $50 super chat sticker. Bam. Appreciate you. Appreciate that very much. And so what we're looking at right here is an obvious uptrend, right? And we have the potential to break it, but as long as we hop back into it, because you see, like, I'm not such a stickler where like the chart's going to go way out here. We have a lot of activity that you could see. This works out real well. Now, if we plunge below and we continue to plunge below and we break that structure, man, that's actually needs to be zoomed in for you guys. There we go. My bad, fam. My bad, fam. And so I guess if we do this, then we can get a little. Oh man, here we go. There's the top. And we'd put this thing right on the bodies there, where we've got this. This is like a nice little uptrend here. Again, I like to call those anomalies. It's fine. We came right back up into it and then right back on trend. That's fine. We may end up piercing down below, but as long as we come back up and keep going, we're back on trend. If we go down and continue to go down, then you know that we've broken the trend. And from there, right, then we've got to plan something different and get back into short mode. But at this moment, as long as we stick on this uptrend and we continue, and this is the daily, right? We can look at some other time frames. Like I like looking at the weekly. I like zoom. When in doubt, zoom out. Let's turn all the let's turn this stuff off so that there's no. Let's clear all the drawings. Different time zone. On the weekly, it actually looks like we may be reversing. a little bit. This candle, it has 4 days and 12 hours. So we got 4.5 days to determine what this candle is going to be doing. And this, to me, looks like it could be reversing. Who knows, though? It could be continuing to push down, or we buy back that candle, buy back that wick that you see right there, that wick top. Very interesting on the weekly. It tells a different story if we look at the daily, right? Interesting. We did want to look at Bitcoin dominance. I want to pull that up before, and we can look at some different time frames on Bitcoin in just a second here. But I want to make sure that I hit that. I just don't. It's so funny. Like, I will forever have this 70% line marked, but we are just since I'd say we had this nice peak here. Dominance itself has tightened up, and it's been in a 3% range for 189 or 128 days. 128 days. Man, where is this going to go? We need a breakout one way or the other, right? It's just, this is indecision time. If this breaks out up and Bitcoin dominance goes up, altcoins are probably going to go down. And now it doesn't always necessarily mean that the price of Bitcoin needs to go up or down when dominance goes up, or vice versa, right? And that's when we trigger the altcoin season. Dominance needs to go down, but dominance could go down and the price can still, this is where it makes more sense, right? The price can go up on Bitcoin and dominance can go down, right? That's possible. That has happened before. But in order for an altcoin season, you need dominance to drop. As long as we continue to go up, it's the Bitcoin show. Institutions are at the helm, and it is total Chad. Yeah, absolutely. Chad Miller in the building. Appreciate you, Chad. All right. Let's see. Where's gold at these days? This is gold against Bitcoin. So obviously, do we just have the gold chart? Yeah, here we go. So we were going up, and now we're going down. The price right now is $48.78. We peaked out at right over here, $5,598. So just under $5,600 for an ounce of gold. Back in the end of January, it has been on a slippery slope since then. We had a nice correction down to $48.94, so just under $4,900. So big correction there. Has been rebuilding. I mean, technically, right? You're like I would probably do it more like that and say you've broken the structure. You're in a downtrend now. So now you're looking at, I suppose it. It could be. I mean, you could actually look at that. I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? I mean, you broke out of it, so it's not. It could have been like that. That's the way it could have been, and obviously we could tidy these up a little bit. You never know. You never know what happens later today. This could just be fictitious, right? This is the daily. It could end up being a wick, and you could go right back. You could go right back up it, and you could go into the positive, and it's just for show, right? Oh no, Bitcoin's going down, or gold's going. Oh, this is gold. Man, I'm so used to looking at the Bitcoin chart. That's funny. Silver on its way down as well, 77. I found I had as it turns out, when my grandfather had passed, I had gotten a silver, like a PGA coin. It was like one of those little ounces of silver with Gary Player on it of the PGA. So shout out to Gramps throwing me an ounce of silver. 9.9995 fine silver. Gary Player. of the PGA Tour. Love that. Thanks, Grams. Let's see what other charts can we pull up right now. If you guys got anything that you want to look at, let's look at that right now. That would be fantastic, and then we'll hop over into the articles in just a second here. We'll breeze through those. S&P 500 is on a man. I thought those guys were gonna get sick of winning. That looks like it could be. You think we're going to see like a sharp, let's see, let's put this one on the weekly. How does that look? Ooh, man, oh man. We've seen it before. This looks very similar to this right here, doesn't it? Very similar to that right there. I mean, they'll probably be more like that, right? You're going to see a nice little correction, a little scam wick down. That's just how it works. That's the game. So that's your S&P 500. It looks like it's stair-stepping its way back on up. Look, that's just how it moves. Zoop, 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 zoop. It'll keep rolling. You'll be back up. Let's see here. H-bar. What's the H-bar chart doing? Let's throw on the leapfrog. Let me look at our VWAPs. Hey. What's up, homie? How are you? Good. How are you? Did you sleep well? Wonderful. All right. You're going to come in. All right. Just come on in here then. All right. I'll see you in a bit. I like that's our the morning routine. When my daughter wakes up, she wants to come in and say what's up, but she'll be in a little bit. All right, so Hedera, this is the weekly. Let's pull it off the weekly. Let's give ourselves a trading view. This is what we like. This is what the name of the site is. This is what we would want to be doing. So let's do the 48-minute. Look, we just look at that. It just went down and touched the previous week to date. That if that's the bottom, you see what that does. You see how like wild these indicators are, especially this leapfrog, like with these VWAPs and like these lines, and it's like it's almost a pattern how things happen like this. Look, the previous daily low is right up here, and we blew through that, way through that. We went through the 5 SMA, and we literally just touched the previous week to date, and that's a VWAP, right? And so now, there is, I would say, if we end up flipping around for a little while, right? Well, it's 8:40 in the morning. We have a little bit of time until FOMC. It should be 2:30 in the afternoon when we get, the idea. So we'll have a full day of activity before that even happens. And I would strongly feel like, again, we talked about this before, and let's just look at the others chart, because that's all altcoins. Look, everything's dipping right now. This is the entire market. 72.3 for Bitcoin. Hopefully you guys had your shorts in. I've been hanging out with you guys, but we'll get the correction on this. We'll get the bounce back unless it happens while we're online. I don't know. But we'll at some point, we'll do some live trading. But right now we're focused on delivering the news early on and kind of setting the tone of the day and letting you make your decisions. And then we'll get into some of that stuff, especially probably over in the Discord. I will be there. I will be active today. So make sure that you tap in. If you need the link to that, actually, I could Copy that. There you go. If you want a link to the Discord, it is in the chat over on YouTube. Shout out to everybody there that is watching. If you need it over on X, I can do that as well. And there you go. All right. Everybody got it. And let's go back to the charts. 72,315 Bitcoin is in a plunge, and as the 48-minute chart goes, this is one of the bigger candles and dumps we've seen in a hot minute here. Let's go to the 4-hour. All right, so we got a previous week to date. You never know. I mean, look, this thing it's a magnet. 71.3 is the target for that. Point of control on where we're at right now is showing us 70,137. So that could be a volume stop. Is where we stop. Here is probably. Here's where it really picks up. So 71,669. I would say that's probably a good indicator of where we potentially could see a resting spot. Let's do. Let's see. BTC bounce. You never know. That could bounce, or it could continue to keep going. You never know. But potentially, I mean, that's where our volume spikes, and so that could be a nice support for now. Again, if there's a massive sell-off, we'll blow through it. But if that acts as our support, that could be a good opportunity to get into a trade. So just continue to watch that. We are sitting on the 4-hour. Let's zoom it in and see what it says. Let's go look at the 48. We're right there, or that's the 45. Excuse me. The 10-minute. We're like right there. The 5-minute is what we like to trade on. There you go. So, I mean, if I were a bet man, like that's probably where I would put my orders, like somewhere around there. Or, you put it around there is where you think you would go in. And then, maybe down here at the previous week to date, 71.3, 80 something, you put your order down a little bit more in case there's a wick. And, if you've got to react and move your order around, you can do that. I know it's really easy to trade with like that kind of stuff and slide your order. If you put in a limit order on BitUnix there, and you're doing it on a computer, you can even do it on the phone. Like it's all with your finger. You could slide up and down not only your order if you need to move your limit, but your stop losses and your take profits. Like that shit's all slidable. It's real easy to navigate. So it's one of the easier exchanges I've used and to be able to do leverage trading and stuff. So I hope you guys join the squad. Team's crushing it. And we're going to be doing some stuff very soon. We'll have some rewards. We'll do all that stuff. There is a massive trade competition that BitUnix is doing right now. It's the March the March Carnival. So they're giving away like $750,000. So make sure you join the squad and participate in that. If you got any questions, DM me, let me know. We are also opening up the I got to do it today. Trade group Discord. And so I just would need your UID and your Discord. You just need to join the Discord and then give me your UID, and then I will make sure that you get into it will be a private Discord channel for the trade group. So make sure you join and then get me your UID. We'll get you in there. Let's go. And we'll be chit-chatting, doing all sorts of stuff. Potentially could have seen the bottom here, or this, this looks like this flags out a little bit here for a second. It's multiple flags. I was watching Sam yesterday, and he is the flag king. Like he would be flagging every one of these. There's the flag stick, the flag in here. Boom, it would have made a move. Here's another flag stick. Let's make the flag. Bada boom, bada bing. See what it's going to do. It looks like we're just going to keep dumping. We're bearish right now. You're in a trend until you're not. So it would make sense to short until you see a structure break, if that's what you want. I mean, obviously you missed, what is this? From here? You missed out on, about 2% or whatever. But, you never know where it's going to end up. I would say, watch patiently now, wait for what potentially this is the reversal right here. You're starting to see the bottom wicks, yeah, like that could be, this is the 1 minute, right? Like silly me. But there you go. Like you've got, well, we'll get rid of that. That doesn't make sense right there. But you're starting to see the long tails. And so usually that means we're going to start. Look right here. You saw a bunch of long tails and then pop. You did see some here, but it's just how it all looks. Boom. A little directional change. Again, chase it back up to the daily. You can get yourself a couple percent, right? Say this is the bottom. You catch it back up to the daily. It's 1%, 1.6%. Throw some leverage on there and you got yourself some funds, baby. And I hope you guys are taking advantage of stuff like that and make sure that you're figuring out where your entry should be. I'm not saying get in now. You could see it drop a little bit more. And that's why, I'm not telling you what to do. That is not what we do here. We just try to just look at this stuff. This could potentially drop more. I mean, you got to make, you're still in a downtrend. You need to make a new high, a higher high. And so we've not done yet. This is the 3 minute. It's the 5 minute. No, it's going to continue to go down, right? Unless you start making higher highs. You have to make a higher high. You have to break structure right now. And again, this is the 5 minute. It's not like these are big time frames. But if you're scalping, that's what you need to be looking at. And, let's see, now that we've got that on the 5 minutes, put it on the 1 minute. Yeah, see, we're still downtrending. You could put that right there. And so we're still, and this is on the 1 minute, we're still going down on the 5 minute. Let's go 10 minute. That's, we're still not ready to make a decision there. This potentially is going to be on the 10 minute. You're changing your direction. So just keep scanning your time zones, man. Just keep scanning your time zones. All right, let's break into the news. You put a chat in Discord. Let me, I'm going to go to that right now. Try to join the trading campaign for volume. It says regular users cannot join that campaign. Just thought I would let you know. All right, let me, I'm going to screenshot your message and then I'll send it to my guy and then I will, I'll get an answer to you and I'll post it in there as soon as I hear back. And I will take care of that after the show. So I got a bunch of Discord stuff to do. Y'all are going to see me in there. I'll tell you what. All right. So just keep your time frames open. Keep bouncing back. If you are actively in trades, you just want to be making the right decision. In my opinion, though, we are going to continue going down here. That's what it looks like. It looks like this candle is going to just be a continuation, but you never know. It does have the longer tail. And if we flip, you got, about 6 minutes left. Let's look at the 5 minute. It's not a higher high. And see, again, that's ultimately what you need, are higher highs to break structure and to get out of this little rut. Just like here, right? We started to make a higher high. And even though it was just a little baby one, and then you would have, we would have wanted to get out up there, but you might see a little push and then another drop down. That's where we've got our alert on the screen line here. So we'll see hopefully somewhere at the 71.6 level, 71.650, somewhere in there. All right, let's see. We looked at that. Fed Watch is in 5 hours and 5 minutes. As you guys know, it does not look like we are dropping at all. We are in the 350, 375 range, not dropping, not raising. We are hanging tough. So 0% to 325, 350, 1.1% to 375, 400. So very extremely small chance that the rate goes up, but I mean the whole point is to get that to chill out. So, all right, here we go. Let's get into some news here. Morgan Stanley exec says crypto ETF adoption still very early as advisors weigh allocations. I'm gonna read the quick take because we're gonna go on a different one. Demand for crypto ETFs at major brokerages is still coming from self-directed investors, with advisors only gradually incorporating the products into managed portfolios. Large financial institutions are increasingly formalizing small crypto allocation ranges of roughly 1% to 4% as ETF inflows and institutional participation grows. Let's take a look at the next two articles really quick. U.S. spot ETFs, crypto ETFs, pull in $361 million in a single day as institutional appetite grows. Crypto ETFs extend inflows on March 18th as institutional demand remains firm. Crypto ETFs. I wish these things load. Man, sometimes they don't. But look, solid 7 days. The 7-day outlook, let's go to the 30 days. We are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already. Today's decision is the 8th day, yes or no. We are smashing inflow records on all the crypto ETFs. Let's look at the Bitcoin ones. We'll pull open those articles in just a second here. But I bet, look at how green this is. And look at the FB is which one again? It's the Fidelity. Yeah. BlackRock, the majority rules there, right? Like they're the biggest player. They make the most sense. Like 2.26 thousand versus a 326. So like the volume is just, it's not comparable. But what's interesting, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Strategy. They clipping on the heels, man. They clipping on BlackRock heels, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Make sure you guys get yourself some cold storage. Cold storage. Save yourself some money too with using the code JChains on a Tangent wallet. You're gonna get some. You're gonna get some juice. And I have a couple. Man, where the hell did they go? Oh, they're right here. I found the other one. I got some giveaways for you guys. Real quick. We'll go back to that in a second here. But I got some giveaways. We're going to do some giveaways. I got a Tangent wallet. It's a 3-pack. That's going to go away to somebody. And we'll probably do it to somebody who's on the trade team so that you can, when you take your profits off of your trades, you throw them straight into cold storage. Why wouldn't you do that? Take them right off the exchange after you get your profits. When you get, okay, so say you run $1,000 on your trades, right? And you make, a couple hundred, you make another 1,000. What are you doing? Are you just keeping that there, sitting there? I mean, are you using it for bigger trades? That would make one thing. But if you're consistent about what you do, you don't change, you don't do higher volume, and you don't do bigger trades because all of a sudden, you think you're a big wig. No, you stick to your plan. And so you take that money, you take that profit off the fucking table, and you put it into cold storage. I mean, if you want to trade with it, go for it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but what I would do and what I do is I pull that shit, those profits off. Right now, I'm not, because I'm trying to build up, specifically for a challenge. But eventually, when I hit that challenge, that's the goal. Right into cold storage. And there's no better place than a Tangent wallet. So I've also got a Tangent Ring 11 size. I am a much bigger finger than 11. And so we're going to give this away to somebody who is on the trade team. So, that is coming up. We'll put that stuff in the Discord once we get that going. And then a Tangent wallet Stealth. I probably should just show you this side. The Stealth. And the cool blue box. Look, one's a black box. One's a blue box. Very cool. So those are going to be giveaways to the trade team very soon. And then we'll continue to do some stuff. Carrie just wants a Tangent. Now you're making him want to trade. I love that. You need a Tangent? I'll get you a Tangent. I'm going to get you a Tangent, Jerry. Ooh, Stealth. Yeah, that's what you want, is the Stealth. I'll get you the Stealth. I will bring it to you. See, now you got to wait. Now we'll order it. We'll get it, because it would make sense for you to get it before July, because it's only March. Although technically, July will be here before you know it. All right. So, okay, really quick. Let's go through this FUD article. Still very early. And the ETF, the advisors who do this, remember, they're the ones who handle the money. They are some of the most important people financially. And if they're just testing the waters, it's still early. We talked about this on the Macro Minute. Hopefully you got a chance to watch that this morning. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, we're improving a little bit every day. Keep me posted. Let me know. Drop a comment on those videos. Let me know. But look, this is some of the stuff that we talk about here. Like, you got to be paying attention. That's why if this is the only article that you read, you would be bearish. But then when you see this, 361, over $250,000 a day, $1 billion in a day. Very interesting. That's not small potatoes. And then they're extending inflow streaks to 8 days. Come on. Let's go. It's time. And it's not like let's look at the things. Remember, let's see, all crypto ETFs. Look. I mean, it's going up. Like we start to when we start to see those, remember, it was just like on the Bitcoin one. And I'll pull it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. When we look at the Bitcoin ETFs in relation to the price, when we see heavy concentration of inflow, you see a positive impact on the price. And that's what we're starting to see is a heavy impact of positive inflows. And what does that mean? Positive impact on price. Okay? Swim with the whales. The whales are swimming. They're out there buying your shit for cheap. Don't capitulate. Payment giant MasterCard makes a mammoth $1.8 billion bet on stablecoins with BVNK acquisition. They're strengthening their use of digital assets in cross-border payments, remittances, and business-to-business payments. Here's the tweet from, let's go look at their tweet. Today, we announced our intent to acquire BVNK Finance, expanding our end-to-end support of digital currencies with BVNK's leading stablecoin-based payment infrastructure. Together, we're strengthening how fintechs, platforms, and financial institutions connect traditional fiat and on-chain payments across rails, currencies, and regions. Learn more about the announcement there. Massive stuff, guys. Like this is just big stuff. Let's look at our stablecoin chart. Where's that? It's kind of stabling off. It's on its way back up after a little bit of a... Man, I wish we could turn that off sometimes, but you know, we kind of cratered a little bit right there, but we are going back up. We are sitting at $301.48 billion market cap on stablecoins, up about 1.25% in the last 30 days. And so we've had some days that are moving a different direction. And look, it's growing. And now it's not like, when you look at the tokenized stocks, like just exponentially, like getting bigger and bigger every day, 1.09 billion, up 15% in 30 days, or U.S. Treasuries, which is up 4%, same thing, different kind of massive growth structure that we're seeing every single day. Like this is where it's going. The tokenization narrative, to me, it makes a lot of sense. This is what I look at. You could look at these charts. You could look at all the different aspects of a different vertical and say, well, this is growing too. But I think the sheer volume and the number, and we're talking trillions, multi-trillions, 30 trillions within 10 years, that kind of shit. Like that's massive growth. Like there's not too many ecosystems that are in verticals within this blockchain realm that are going to touch that. And so that's why I'm focusing a lot of big on this stuff. And so we'll look at some over the next couple of weeks. Let's look at a lot of the projects where the opportunities are. We know them from the past, like the plumes, the centrifuges, all that kind of stuff. We'll take a look at, see what's still relevant, see what's still good. It's been a while. We got to take a look and see what's still popping. We'll make our decisions on, things we should be looking at in the tokenization world. Ondo, obviously, is my number one. Ondo, and we'll leave it at that for now. We'll get into some more later. In other massive news, here we go. This one again. This is writing on the wall stuff. We've been talking about it for a long time now. What was the main driver that we need for retail? What do we need? We need banks to adopt and then offer to retail clients and make that available. You have immediate exposure, massive exposure once this launches. But the bank applied to protect the name WFUSD. You know what that means. Across crypto trading, payments, and blockchain software. Wells Fargo exploring a deeper push into digital assets after filing a sweeping trademark application that hits at ambitions across crypto trading, payments, and blockchain software. WFUSD. We know what that means. Wells Fargo, USD, 1-to-1 to the dollar. Stablecoin, baby. They're doing things right. Nobody's going out and doing filing trademarks for their stable coin before launching it. You know what I mean? They're doing this shit right, guys. This is what it means, is that banks are getting ready. Here, we'll go through this a little bit. So they applied for that, the application, which is currently awaiting review. As core of the filing points infrastructure for buying, selling, and moving digital assets. The proposed trademark covers services such as crypto trading and exchange platforms. The scope of the filing goes far beyond trading alone. The bank also describes a suite of blockchain-related software tools, including downloadable applications for staking digital assets, accessing NFTs, managing crypto wallets, and executing digital asset transactions. Boom. Signed, sealed, delivered. Crypto. Now, pretty soon, Granny can go to the bank and allocate your future inheritance over to Bitcoin. Tell her to do it soon. Give your granny a call. Say, Granny, hope you're doing well. You hear about that Bitcoin stuff? The banks are going to be offering it soon. Excuse me while I get some hot coffee. Got to freshen up the cup. The best part of waking up is hot coffee in your cup, unequivocally. Hope you guys are doing well. Smash the like button. Thank you so much for being here. You could be doing anything, but you're hanging out with us. I appreciate that very much so. Smash the like button. Number one thing you can do to help the channel and the show grow is let more people know about it. All right. We have got just 2 more articles here, and then we're going to skedaddle for the day. And then we talked about this a little bit ago. This, to me, was wild. When I found this article this morning, I was like, no way. Like, for real? Like, how's that even thing? Who's trying to do that? MicroStrategy could surpass BlackRock's Bitcoin holdings within a week. Within a week. They're called in MicroStrategy a central bank. That's really weird. A Bitcoin central bank. BlackRock, $14 trillion AUM as of 2025. Obviously, that is greater this year. Once the filings come out, we'll figure that out. It was among the first Wall Street giants to launch an ETF for Bitcoin in 2024. The greenlit by the SEC. Boom, boom, boom. How they turned into a Bitcoin giant. Note that BlackRock doesn't buy Bitcoin for itself. Instead, investors buy IBIT shares through the stock market. Each IBIT share represents a fraction of Bitcoin held by the BlackRock fund. So BlackRock holds Bitcoin on behalf of IBIT shareholders. Here's how it plays out. Investors, both institutional and retail, buy or sell IBIT shares on NASDAQ. Authorized participants handle the creation or redemption of these shares. When demand rises, these participants buy Bitcoin from the market and deliver it to the BlackRock ETF. And reserve, they receive newly created IBIT shares. It's been more than 2 years since the IBIT launch. This is the shit that we look at, guys. $63 billion. Man. Since March 9th, IBIT, look, positive inflows every day. We looked at this. This is the same chart. Where is it? Right here. Bitcoin. This is the all-time high, right? Yeah, this is all of them. Let's just look at IBIT. I mean, it's basically the same thing as the market, right? All inflows to look at that. All inflows to start for several months, just straight inflows. And then they started testing the waters a little bit, got a little crazy. And that's when the price dipped. You know, look, swim with the whales. They are starting to buy Bitcoin. You see, the price is directly related to the buying of this spot Bitcoin ETF inflow. This should be one of the number one things that we're looking at every single day. And damn it, I forgot to trade that fucking graphic today. Golly. That will be different tomorrow. But we are definitely doing a lot better in our trading competition. So definitely, I will fix that. We are doing way better than $1,300. All right. Get you some Bitcoin. Come on, do it. Just get rid of those shitters that you got. Sell and I know I don't want to piss anybody off like when I say this, but like, say you got some dog shit NFTs that you don't care anymore. You're not part of the community. You're just hanging on to them because you hang on to them because you don't want to sell them. Fucking sell them. Take some offers, list some, whatever you got. I most of the time I've got multiple NFTs for, like these old projects from back in the day. I'm not talking about new stuff now. I'm part of some newer communities where, we've had some NFT launches like Kushlings, like Midas. That's different. I'm not talking about those. Those are new. I'm talking about the things back from 2021. The dog shits that you got that aren't worth anything. It's worth the dust now. Just maybe you spent $100 on it. It's worth $20 now. Just take the $20, put it into Bitcoin. Eventually, that's going to be worth more than the $100. It's going to be far worth more than the NFT's ever going to be at some point because it's just going to be dog shit. I know it continues to go up with the value because based on the value of the coin that it is tied to. However, most people also understand that, so they start taking the offers right as it starts going up, and then all of a sudden the offers go back to dog shit. So like, do it, get it while it's hot, get in, get out, get your Bitcoin, put it into cold storage, put it on your Tangent wallets. Put it on your Tangent wallets. Let's go. All right. And this is it. This is what ties the whole thing all together. Everything that we've been looking at, tokenization, regulation, stable coins, yada, yada, yada. Everything comes down to this. SEC and CFTC and crypto turf wars. The regulators signal new harmony after years of rivalry. Who cares what the different on the past thing is? The whole point is that the SEC, they've now decided and they've come together and basically we saw the headlines. Let me actually just pull. Let's go to the news. 15 hours ago. So this was yesterday. So a lot of tokens are now commodities. And so we'll go through this article because this basically says the same thing. So the SEC issues first ever definitions for what crypto assets are securities. And so we know a lot of our favorites are not. What to know, the U.S. Issued guidance explaining how it will define crypto as securities, creating several categories of digital assets. Just one category include digital securities, which SEC Chairman Paul Atkins' words return the agency to its core focus of only overseeing securities markets. Love to see that. Do we have anything on the list here of maybe what? After more than a decade of uncertainty, this interpretation will provide market participants with a clear understanding of how the commission treats crypto assets under federal securities laws. Token taxonomy. Do we have any? I know everything, like all the favorites that we look at all the time, all of our favorite coins are considered not to be securities now. I'll take a look for this. We'll look at that tomorrow. I will find some more opportunity for us to take a look at some of that information. But Ondo is undefined. Okay, very interesting. We'll have to take a look, and I will do a deep dive into these different. See if we can find some information on which are securities, which are not, and then from there we can go in a little bit farther. But I got the series on intelligent finance coming out Friday. Now that I got my ears lowered, got things cleaned up a little bit, I'm going to shoot the series. And so be on the lookout for that. That'll come out on Friday, Intelligent Finance. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things. Got a couple part series lined up that got to start cooking on the other parts to it. But okay. The tone has been set, I think, at the end of the day when we're thinking about this, right? We're looking at all the headlines, and it's every day. Again, the price may go down a little bit like it was earlier. Let's pop open the Bitcoin chart one more time. It looks like we have seen our decision. You never know. Remember, 9:30 when the market opens up, we've got ourselves 15 minutes, but that nice long scam wick down to 72,093, right? 72,088, according to BitUnex here on TradingView. That was a directional change, and then from there we've seen some bottom wicks and some candle bodies moving up. So it may be time to throw in a long and get ready. It's time to look at it. It's time for you guys to make your decision. Hopefully, looking at the news, looking at the headlines, understanding that this decision should be priced in. Everybody knows it's not fucking going anywhere. And from there, Bitcoin will do what Bitcoin does. Make yourself 1% better today. That is the rule. That is the foundational rule here for this channel. And so if you can, try to do that. And if that's a struggle today, it's all right. It's all right. Just make sure you work on that tomorrow. Consistency is the most important thing to all of that. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure that you smash the like button on your way out here if you have not done that already. It would mean the world to me if you are watching on a platform that allows you to make a comment and to and potentially even repost the video out. Do that. Tag your friends. Let them know. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. with some more macro news. It is the morning macro. And before that, I launched the macro minute. And so that is I've got that, I think, short form and vertical format is the best way to do that. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. Let me know if you've got any ideas or proposed changes. I'm open to your feedback because I appreciate you all so much. So I will see you tonight. Today is Wednesday. Tonight is Trade Daddies, 9 p.m. Look at that. It's right there. Perfect timing. Yes. Yeah. Trade Daddies, 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Going to be hanging out with my guy, Mike, the Modern Canadian. We're going to be talking about all sorts of fun stuff. So make sure you tune in. We'll be live on X, YouTube. I think he puts it also on the Arena. Maybe we'll be on some other places. Eventually, we'll see what other decentralized platforms are good to be on. But for now, there you go. There it is. I appreciate y'all. Ciao for now.